All right, Brandon is back. Hey, Brandon, what's going on?
Hey, bunch of things.
Well, good, good. So, hello and welcome to the podcast. This is your third time being on, and I always love chatting with you and catching up with you. And because we are in a brand new year, I said it's the perfect time to check in with Brandon, see what he's got going on, and
All right.
I don't know, talk about anything and everything jewelry related, like how we always do.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm trying to remember where we left off last time. I'm still a college student. This is my last semester in college, so I'll be graduating in May, which is exciting. Um,
Congratulations.
Thank you. And then I hope to just work on this business, full time right away, right after college. Over winter break, I started to work more on my website, which is
Oh.
heartlandpicker.com. I listed a ton of stuff. I think I have a couple hundred items listed, and I've got a bunch of like mystery jewelry bags and jars on my website as well. So I've been pretty busy these past month or two trying to get stuff listed on there.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, Brandon is almost a full time jewelry reseller. The only thing that makes him not full time is that he has his school schedule,
Mhm.
but he sells quite a bit of jewelry and he's taught us quite a bit about jewelry. And he recently launched a website. Well, not recently, but it was a few months back, right?
Yep. It was last July, I think.
Okay, so how is that going and what has that been like doing your website?
Yeah, so it started out for the first like 3 or 4 months. It was really slow, and I only had like maybe two sales. Like I didn't think it was going to go that well. But then the power of TikTok came along, and it has been crazy nonstop.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to hear about that because, TikTok is my second favorite platform after YouTube, of course. And I know we recently dealt with, TikTok being down for a little bit, but now it is up and running. Like I said, it's my second favorite platform, and I never really thought about. Well, I mean, because I used to sell jewelry on there. Like I had a TikTok shop, but I
Mm.
never really like it didn't do that great. And this was probably over a year ago. But
Mm.
but now you've got me thinking. So how are you using TikTok? Like what are you doing?
Well, I'm using TikTok to do a bunch of promotional videos for my website.
Okay.
And then there's a bunch of people on there that buy my stuff and they do a review on it, and I like to repost their videos. It's kind of like a customer testimonial
Oh,
sort of. So then people can
nice.
see what they're getting in these like mystery bags and stuff, and then um, they can just see if they want to try it out or not.
Okay. Okay. So basically you're doing promotional marketing stuff, but you're also doing kind of like real life reviews, testimonials, that kind of thing too.
Yeah, and then I also do some haul videos, and a couple times I've went live on TikTok and opened up, mystery boxes that I buy online, and then people can see what I get in my little boxes that I buy. So it's just something cool and fun to do.
Yeah, like I said, I love TikTok and I'm either on YouTube or TikTok pretty much.
Yeah, same here.
All right. So how is I guess the business part going then? Because I know you were doing last time we talked, you said you were doing whatnot shows like 4 or 5 times a week. I don't know if you're still doing that many shows, but what's going on with whatnot? Are you still selling over there or what's the
So
update?
yeah, I'm still selling on Whatnot. It is not doing as good as I used to, just because I had to take a long 5 month break because of college.
Mhm.
I just started it back up this past winter break, and I've had some pretty good sales. But now I have to go back off of it because I've got the last 5 months left.
Right.
Um, but no, it was going pretty well. I hope to do more whatnots in the future after I graduate. I'll probably be on there at least 2 or 3 times a week to get rid of a lot of this stuff out of the room. But yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been doing Whatnot that much either, just because it was so slow, and
Mm,
I had pretty much done only Poshmark lives, and then I moved over to District, and that's where I kind of found my groove.
mm,
But I really want to get back into Whatnot, especially because I don't know if you saw, they made an announcement a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was last week. Whatnot had, they just got a bunch of money to expand the platform. So they're going to be making all kinds of improvements and enhancements and all kinds of stuff. And like they're really trying to make it more mainstream,
mm.
so it's exciting as it relates to the growth, but I'm just hoping that it means that the app will function a little bit better, and
Yeah.
that I do hope that some of that money goes towards bringing more people to the app, because
More,
that's,
we need more people, less sellers.
yes, yes, we need way more buyers there, and I don't know if Whatnot does any type of advertising. If they do, I haven't seen it. Like, and
Yeah.
I'm where you know where the buyers would be, right? I'm on
Yeah.
social media, I'm on the app. So um, I've never seen a Whatnot ad ever. I mean, I've seen people repost stuff,
Mm.
but I've never seen like a paid ad for Whatnot at all, like
The
saying,
only
hey,
what
come check it out.
Yeah, the only Whatnot ad I've seen is like when I'm watching a YouTube video and those ads pop up before the video. That's the only time I've
Oh,
seen a Whatnot ad.
yeah, I haven't even seen those.
Yeah,
So hopefully they do bring some more people
we
to the
hope.
app. Like you said,
Uh,
more buyers, more buyers.
yes, yes, definitely.
All right. So what about the because you were doing some little like shows as well, like in your city. I remember you were doing like I don't want to say it was like a pop-up shop, but you had like little events you were doing. So how is that going?
That is going pretty well. I'm doing quite a few shows this year. I've got a little lineup that I'll announce probably in the next month or two.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and it's just been really fun. It's nice to reach out and branch out to a local crowd rather than just selling online specifically, because then I get the local
Yeah.
who will want to either go to my antique booths or they've got my info. So if they need something right away, they can always just message me and I can go deliver it to them or meet them somewhere.
Yeah, that's really good. I want to do more shows as well, or more like in-person events.
Hmm.
Um, but see, here in Las Vegas, it's really hard. Like they have like craft shows and stuff,
Mm.
but the tables are really expensive. Sometimes it's like $1,200 to rent a table,
Oh,
like
man.
it's crazy.
Yeah, the most expensive booth I think I pay for is 300, and that's for a 3-day show.
That's
So
not bad, actually.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, because that means you only really need to sell at least $100 a day, and you're probably going to make way more than that.
Oh yeah, and the trick is if I do a show and it's a low attending show, it doesn't really get a whole lot of people, and I don't get a whole lot of sales physical in person. I'll just pop onto Whatnot and start selling stuff from the booth.
Oh, that's smart.
Yep. So then people on Whatnot could buy, and then that's a way to make my booth rent, even if I don't have people physically walking into the booth during the show.
Oh, that's smart. That's smart. So now one of the things that I think I'm really impressed at as it relates to your business is the variety of
Hmm.
jewelry inventory you have. You always have amazing stuff. You have such a like broad, array of different types of jewelry. And so like talk about that, like your sourcing and how you find pieces, where you find pieces and all of that.
Yeah, well, majority of my sourcing I buy in bulk. I like to buy bulk boxes, so everything and anything comes in these boxes. Even the weird and awkward stuff in boxes. I've gotten a coin collection before. It was like at the bottom of
Mhm.
the box, just like a bunch of quarters, pennies, dimes, whatever. So I made some money back that way. Some more weird stuff I've gotten in my boxes was uh, a pair of handcuffs and a can of pepper spray. Um, I've gotten just a bunch of weird little things that you just wouldn't expect to be in a jewelry box.
Right.
Um,
I've gotten that too. I've gotten like ammo, if you know what I'm talking
oh
about.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's just it comes in bulk boxes, and I just have to sort through it. And I get so many different vintage jewelry pieces and even contemporary pieces that makes my stuff attract a whole range of clients or clientele. I think you touched on this in one of your videos, but you said, I believe, I'm trying to remember what podcast it was, what episode, where you said to um, focus on a like a niche, like a little certain, if you're just starting out, focus on like a
Hmm.
little certain part of jewelry and then expand.
Yes, yes.
I started out, selling certain pieces, but I've expanded, a whole array of stuff because I feel like if you have a wide variety of jewelry, you're going to have a wide variety of buyers. And if you only stick with this one little particular category, you're only going to have so many buyers that you're not expanding, and you have room for more clients, but you just don't have the stuff they're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know that strategy came from um, Jen. I've had her on the podcast too, and she only specializes in one type of jewelry. But see, her pieces go for much higher amounts. So when she makes a sale, she can make a couple $1,000s off of one
Yeah.
buyer.
Yeah.
Um,
And see,
but
that's different for me here in Iowa because we don't have like the richy rich kind of jewelry. We don't have diamond rings and Tiffany, and like it's hard. It's so hard to find it around here. So that's why I just branch out into a whole bunch of different categories because
yes.
I'm looking for something specifically expensive. It's going to be hard to find it.
Yes, and that's the nice thing about reselling jewelry is you can do it any way, right? Like you don't have to have a niche. But what I have found too, as it relates to education, is like if you focus on one type of jewelry, it's much easier to learn everything you can about, I don't know, let's say Native American jewelry, whatever. Like
Mhm.
it's easier to just focus on that and then become really good in that, and then you
Mhm.
branch out from there. Because I think what happens too is a lot of people get overwhelmed with researching jewelry, studying jewelry, learning about jewelry.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, you're right. There's no rule saying you can't sell everything and anything, because that's how I started with my jewelry reselling as well. I sold my own stuff because I had a lot of jewelry, and that's how I started, just selling my stuff, and then kind of learned from there. And I was like you, I just bought everything and anything. And then whatever I thought I could make money off of, that's what I sold.
Yeah, exactly. But
All right. So, but now what about because I know you buy in bulk. Do you buy in bulk like online, or do you buy in bulk like in person or at
yeah, it's
auctions or?
a little bit of both. I buy most of it online, and then some of it I go to local auctions and friends and family that just save up jewelry for me, and I just purchase it from them.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, how do you figure out how much to buy? Or do you just kind of buy it when you can? Because I know that's another thing that trips people up. They say, oh, I want to buy so much every week, but
Mhm.
you may not find something every week. So how do you manage the sourcing? Like, how do you figure out what's going to work?
So with the sourcing, I am kind of crazy. I say buy it if it comes to you, because if there's something that gets offered to you and you're never gonna find it ever again, you go.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go for it.
Yeah.
Um, there are people that like to budget and like say, "Oh, I'm only going to spend this much for this week." And I tried that. Years and years ago, but there was a time where I spent my money all on a Monday and Tuesday, and by the time it came to Friday, there was a church sale that I didn't know about,
Right.
and there was a ton of jewelry there. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go free willy nilly. We're gonna, we're just gonna purchase whatever comes our way. If it seems like a good deal, if not, I'll just leave it, and I can always find other stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing too, because you want to make sure you have like either a budget or savings set aside so that way you can take advantage of those deals when they show up. Because you're right, I've had that happen too, where I may go to the thrift store and they have a ton of good stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just buy everything here. And then you go to a yard sale that Saturday and you're like, oh, I didn't know there was going to be good stuff here too.
Yeah.
And you can't predict that. You can't predict what you're going to find and when. That's the other thing about this business is like, especially when it comes to jewelry as it relates to reselling. Now, with
Yeah.
clothing and stuff like that, you're always going to find it no matter what, but jewelry is not that way. We got to snatch it up when we see it because it's not so much in abundance like other things you can resell.
Well, and lucky for me, I have a bunch of local customers that I sell to for
Mhm.
silver, gold, and high end costume. And anytime I get those in, I know I can flip it within 24 hours. So that is a good way to get rid of the higher end stuff and flip my money really quick. So all the costume stuff that I pick up is just pure profit and it can sit if it needs to. Or if I want to just bulk sell it, I can bulk sell it right away.
Okay. Okay. That's really good. That's really good because so many people say that that's the hardest part of jewelry reselling is finding the jewelry, right?
Mhm.
Like, because it's quote unquote easy to list it on eBay or do a whatnot show or whatever. And then it's easy to like ship it out. But if
Mhm.
you don't have anything to sell, then you don't have anything to make money off of. And that's where a lot of people say, they say, yes, I just can't find it. I just can't find it in my area, or I don't know what to look for online. So,
Yeah.
what are some tips that you can share with us to help people who struggle with finding jewelry and may not live in a jewelry rich area like you do?
Well, you can first of all look at your local thrift stores or antique malls.
Yes.
That I especially antique malls, I like sourcing the older stuff from
Hmm.
because a lot of I know will put stuff in there that sometimes they mark a little under, and I'll be able to buy it and price it up a bit. If you don't have any thrift stores or antique malls that are local to you, you can always just go to the Google search bar and search up, bulk jewelry lots or whatever. And
Yeah.
eBay and Poshmark and different websites will come up where you can go buy bulk jewelry, and it's not that hard.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of being diligent and disciplined and to keep looking because you can't give up. Like if you go to one website and you don't find anything, then you just
Yeah.
keep going until you find it. Right? You just keep looking,
And the other
and
thing is, local connections are a big thing. Like
mhm.
especially the flea markets and antique shows here in the Midwest. I have made a ton of friends and a ton of clients that either I buy from or they buy from me just because I walked around an antique show and talked to them about their items and got to know them and their businesses.
Oh, okay, that's smart. Yeah, it's all about the connections,
Mhm.
meeting people, and letting people know what you do, letting people know what you look for. I think that's a big thing too, because there was a time not too long ago where everybody knew me as the jewelry girl. Every time I went into the thrift stores, they knew what I was in there to get, right? And so sometimes, they're really nice and they'll save stuff for you or they'll tell you, "Hey, come back tomorrow or whatever day because we're going to put a bunch of stuff out that I think you
Yep.
might like." So yeah, not being shy or you know, worried about letting people know what you're looking for because there are people, they want to make money too and they want to sell the stuff. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, so
There's
you can
there's
talk.
about 5 or 6 thrift stores that are local that know me personally by name. So they'll just as soon as I walk in, they'll just say, "Oh, hey, Brandon, what's up?" And they know exactly where I'm gonna go first and how I walk around the store and
Yeah.
just go like section to section.
Yeah, same here, same here. And when I go in, they know, oh, we've got some new jewelry in, or
Yep,
and sometimes they'll tell me too. They'll say, "Where were you yesterday? We put a bunch of jewelry out." And I'm like, "Oh man," it's like something where they don't normally put jewelry out, and then of course the one time they do, I'm not there. But this is
yeah,
when I was going like almost every day. I was going to the thrift store, and that's when
mhm,
I was having really good luck finding some amazing stuff.
yeah,
So I think that's the other thing too. Be willing to be consistent and just keep going like every day. But I know that's a time thing for a lot of people because nobody
yeah,
wants to go to 5 thrift stores and then maybe only get ten pieces of jewelry.
yeah,
So
exactly. But
So what else do you got going on then? What do you got planned for 2025 as it relates to your business?
let's see. Doing a lot of in-person shows, working more on the website. Um, gonna hopefully organize this room a little bit better. Um, but I guess the
Yes,
biggest one of
I have to come visit and help clear it
yes,
out.
that's it. The biggest one of them all, not jewelry related, but the Antiques Roadshow episodes are coming up.
Oh, that's right. How exciting.
Oh, I'm super happy.
Well, make sure you let me know so that way I can
Oh,
share.
I already have the dates listed.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, just
Oh yeah,
so I
yep,
can, post it and stuff, and I'll post it on the website and on the blog and everything.
yeah, yep. So
Yeah,
that'll
so
be fun.
tell everybody about that, people who may not know.
Yeah. So for the people who don't
Whatever you
know,
can share.
yeah, because I signed an NDA. I can't say too much.
Right.
Uh, I let's see. Antiques Roadshow came to film here in Iowa back in June,
Mhm.
and my mom and I we won tickets in a raffle, so we went. I brought a couple pieces, and one of the items that I brought, the appraiser looked directly right at me, and then went over to talk to a producer. And so they asked me questions about the item, where I got it, stuff like that. And then they said we want to film it, and I was like, all right, sweet. So
That's
I
so
waited.
cool.
I waited in the green room, and then they took us over to get filmed. We filmed the whole thing, and it took about 30 minutes for the filming because every time we would try to get a shot, it was rush hour, and the location that we were filming at was right next to the interstate, but just about a half
Mhm.
mile away there was a traffic accident. So you would hear sirens like constantly going by, and the producer just had to keep yelling cut cut because the noise, and they needed some like quiet time so they could get the mic situations corrected.
Uh-huh.
But so then we filmed it, and then I went home. But I don't know which episode I'm going to be on. All they said is that you got picked to be filmed. You may or may not be on the episode. It just depends, how we fit each episode and each person in. So I could either be on one of the three episodes that are coming out in late February, early March,
Mhm.
or I'll be in the flashbacks. So like if they say, "Oh, here's a flashback from our time in Iowa," and then they'll like pop up a little thing showing a couple people showing their items. So
Oh, okay, okay. That's so cool. That's so exciting. I've never had anything that exciting happen, at least as it relates to my jewelry stuff. So,
well, hey, you know what? Something exciting is coming up, isn't it? You're gonna be a
oh,
speaker.
that's right. Yes, yes. I will be a speaker at the Boss Reseller Remix. That's happening in March of 2025. So I'll put a link in the description and in the show notes for I've talked about it on the podcast, but yeah, that is exciting. I'm actually really looking forward to that because the last one I went to, it was so much fun. And
Mm,
it's just cool hanging out with other resellers. It's not a jewelry reseller specific
yep,
event, but it's a reseller specific event. So it's just cool. And then um, the last time I went, I met a couple of people from Whatnot, which was really cool. And I met some people from eBay, that was really awesome because they helped me with some things. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Too bad you can't come, Brandon. It would be fun if you were there.
well, I got college stuff to do,
Right,
and
right.
I graduate towards May. But I just wish that reseller event would be a little closer into the Midwest. Like if it was drivable and I could just go to it, that would be perfect.
Yeah. Well, the organizers, Katie and Vicky, they live here in Vegas, which so it just
Hmm.
worked out for me,
Yeah,
location
yeah,
wise.
right there. You're right there.
Yeah. So, I think it'll be fun just, and yeah, because there's not really a lot of, actually, I don't think there's any reseller event going on this year that I know of other than that one.
Yeah.
So that's the only reseller event that I know of that's happening in 2025,
Mm,
unless somebody plans something, later. But
mhm.
as it stands now, that's the only reseller event that is in person in 2025. So it's It's going to be a big deal. And like I said, the last one I went to, it was so much fun. It was so much fun, and I met so many cool people. So
That sounds like a lot of fun.
yeah, yeah. And so I'm going to be speaking, and I don't know if I can share the topic that I'm speaking on yet, but I know they're going to, I think they're going to announce that. Um, I think she said early February. So I don't know if I'm allowed to share, so I won't,
Well,
just in case.
in case if you're listening to this, she won't.
Yeah, because I don't want to mess anything up, you know. So
Exactly. Oh,
all right. So, what else do you got going on as it relates to your business, jewelry? I know you said your mom sells jewelry too. So, what's going on with her business? How is she doing?
well, let's see. We've done a lot with my website, done a lot with whatnot. I'm trying to think of other things. I can talk about the antique booths, I guess. Currently, I am in two antique booths and two glass cases at two different antique malls, so four altogether. Um,
Wow. How do you manage that? Like, how do you keep them all fully stocked?
it's a lot. My parents mainly do most of it since I have college, stuff to worry about. Uh,
Okay.
so they mainly manage the booths currently, and then
Hmm.
when college is done, then I'll take it over and manage them. But no, they things have been flying off the shelves at the two booths with the glass cases because people are buying up the mystery jewelry bags that I am putting in there, and they've
Yeah, I
been
did good with bags too when I was in an antique mall. Like
oh yeah,
those always sold.
oh yeah. They've been posted, and a couple of the people that are buying them have been posting in TikTok videos about opening the jars and stuff. There's a little TikTok drama, which I don't know if I want to get into it about one
Uh-oh.
person. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of people that are buying up our bags, and we just have really good bags. I don't know. It's just a lot of people are buying them up, and it's hard to keep them in stock.
So let me ask you this. When you say mystery bag, is it a bag that they can't see anything? Or is it just like a clear baggie and they don't
No,
know what's
it's
all in it?
it's just like a gallon bag like this, and then we just fill
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Okay. That's how I did mine too. So, because I did jewelry grab bags, I did the gallon size Ziploc bag, and then I did the quart size Ziploc
Mhm.
bag. Because some people didn't want that much.
Yeah.
Um, and so I did the quart size. I think I did. I think it was 25 for the quart size, and then I did 40 for the gallon one. And I
Mhm.
packed them suckers full.
Cool. Yeah.
And uh, I didn't have any problem selling them. People were always asking, when are you going to put more out? When are you going to put more out? And nobody complained about the price. Nobody said anything. Like they just, in an antique mall, like they
Yeah.
just sell. I mean,
Well, here in Iowa, we have cheaper living, so I'm able to mark my bags $22 for gallon bags,
oh
and
wow, that's really good.
it is really good. I fill
Yeah.
them up, and they go fast. They just fly off the shelves. And then I fill up earring containers like this. I take a clear plastic container and I'll fill it up with earrings, and I'll mark this like $35,
Oh,
and it's all paired earrings. So every pair or every earring in these jars are paired.
right.
Um, and I fill like one of these jars up, mark it $35, and it's usually gone within 48 hours. So I
That's
have
really good.
I have to keep refilling them every chance I get.
Yeah, that's really good
Oh
because
yeah.
and then the other thing I did, well, what I've done on Poshmark is I had, because I was selling the jewelry bags, I sold
Mhm.
wearable jewelry bags, and then I
Okay.
had craft jewelry
Mhm.
bags. So the wearable ones are a little bit more expensive, but
Mhm.
everything in there is wearable. Doesn't mean it's in perfect, brand new shiny condition, but it wasn't broken, it wasn't missing any stones, it was all stuff you could actually wear if you wanted to. And
Yep.
then I had the craft lot bags, which had anything and everything. Maybe only one earring, maybe something broke or whatever, maybe a stone was missing, whatever. But
Mhm.
people love it. Like they buy that stuff.
Yeah.
Like they just go crazy for it.
Oh yeah. No, it was just insane. We've had so many sold in the past few months. Um,
Mhm.
I think it's mainly I have a theory that it's mainly TikTok, and people are seeing these videos on TikTok, and then they're coming to the antique malls and buying all the bags up that they can. But
Yeah, so you mean they're not buying it from your website? They're buying it
some
in person?
some are some are buying it from the, well, I should say most are buying it from the website, and some are buying it from in person because they're
Oh,
seeing
okay.
the other people who are buying it in person and posting videos about it. So,
Oh, okay, okay.
like, I'll talk a little bit about this drama because I can, and I'm
Well, I don't
very
wanna get you in trouble.
no, this is not going to get me in trouble because I'm not going to say who it is. But
Okay.
I've talked to, if you guys go to my TikTok, you can see this video that I created. It talks about this whole thing.
Is it Heartland Picker? Same as
Yes,
your Instagram?
same as the Instagram, same name.
Okay.
Um, but basically, what happened was there was a TikTok creator who went into our antique mall, our local antique mall, and bought up a bunch of jewelry jars and did TikTok videos. This person gained thousands of followers. I think they're at right now like 227,000 followers. Gained like 4 million views per video, gained thousands of comments, thousands of likes. It was just insane to see. And I was one day scrolling through TikTok and I come across their video and I was like zooming in and I was like, wait a sec, that's my jar. That I created that jar.
Uh-huh.
And so this went on for a while where this person was making these videos and getting thousands of comments and thousands of views. But every time I would look in the comments section, it would be, where do you get these jars? Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. I want to know where to buy the jars. You know, where do you get the jewelry mystery jars? I want one. And this person never said, never responded to anybody's
Huh.
comments, never said anything. This person only responded to like two people every video.
Okay.
And I would respond to the people's comments like, hey, go to heartlandpicker.com. That's where there's jars, like I'm trying to
Right.
promote myself because this person's not promoting. That person doesn't have, they don't need to promote me. If they don't want to, that's fine. But if you're having this many comments, like thousands of comments asking where you're getting the jars and you're not saying a word, well, I'm going to say something. And,
Mhm.
and so then finally, I did this video, and you can go see it on my TikTok page. It's still up. And then this person noticed that did a video about it, and a lot of people noticed about it, and it got like 20 something thousand views on my TikTok page, and
Uh-huh.
people started to go to my website and started buying mystery jars, and I started getting customers. So that was a video that I did maybe about, I want to say like 8 or 9 months ago,
Mhm.
maybe a little earlier. But a video that I did just last week got a few hundred views, and that was the video that this person messaged me and said, "Hey, I don't like the way you're talking about me. Would you take your video down?"
Oh my gosh.
And so I did not respond to this person because, just to give you some context, before I got that text, the person made a watch jar video, and there
Mhm.
was two watches in there, two vintage Victorian watches in there that I really wanted. So I texted this person. I said, "Hey, I would love to buy these two watches. How much are they?" Never heard a word back. Like never heard a word back at all. And then there was another previous jar that I wanted to buy some stuff from, and then never heard anything back. So I was like, okay, I'm texting you, I want to buy stuff, but you're not saying anything. You're not even trying to message me. So this person sent me um this text that said, "Would you please take the video down?" And I never responded. Because I said, if you want to treat I'm basically saying, if you want to treat your customers by not responding to them and not talking to them, your customers are going to be like me, not talking to you.
Right.
So communication is key when you're in this business. You need to communicate with your buyers. You need to communicate with your sellers. You just need to communicate and talk to your people, even if it's not social media, even if it's just like eBay orders.
Yeah,
Every,
customer service.
yeah, it's customer service. Every time you send out an order, you say thank you for purchasing. Here's your tracking information. Hope you get it soon. Stuff like that.
Mhm.
And this person just, they're very young, and they work in the customer service, I guess you could say, sort of business with their real job. And I'm just like, when it comes to, selling jewelry and doing these jewelry jars, you need customer service, and you don't have it right now. So that's a little bit of what I wanted to say on that. But by doing those videos, it really brought more people to my website, and I'm super grateful for that.
So now, does this person still come in the antique mall and does this person still buy your jars?
This person still buys our jars, yes.
And
Because
they're
we're
still making videos about it?
Yes, because this person knows, hopefully, that we're one of the only ones doing these really good mystery jewelry jars that everybody's wanting. We're
Hmm.
like one of the only ones in the local area that are doing these sort of mystery jewelry jars. Because I mean, there's some people who fill up little mason jars and they mark them way too much for this little tiny jar that's like yay big.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, it's one of those things that, like, when you're one of the only ones that has this certain sort of product, everyone's gonna want it. Supply and demand.
Right, right. So how do you do the jars then if you sell them on your website? Do you actually ship out a jar?
So I haven't done any glass jars yet because I don't want to have the glass jar
Have
break
them
during
break.
shipping.
Right, right.
So what I do is I either do sandwich bags, gallon bags, or the plastic containers, and then I'll ship these out.
So
Um,
where do you get the plastic containers? Like Dollar Tree or something like that?
yeah, yeah, Dollar Tree, Dollar General. That's where I buy these at. Um, the During Christmas time, they have a bunch of Christmassy themed jars. And
Hmm.
when on December 26th, when everything goes half price, that's when I just go Dollar General hopping, and I go
Oh,
around the
that's
western
smart.
half of the state, and I just buy it all out.
Yeah, that's smart because I've had people ask me to do that too. They've asked me to do jewelry jars, and I didn't want to ship glass, because like you said, I don't want it to break. Plus, glass is heavy, so it would
Mhm.
cost more.
Yeah.
But I thought about like how can I do the jewelry jars and like maybe find plastic jars or
Mhm.
something like that, so that way I could ship that out and
Yeah.
then.
OXO containers and Rubbermaid containers are really good for those.
Yeah, but you can't see, but can you see the jewelry inside? Because like on the Tupperware, it's kind of like
Yeah.
cloudy.
So you don't want to do food containers. You just want to do clear storage containers.
Oh,
So
I see what you're saying.
yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah. I'm trying to think if I had an OXO container around me, but I don't think I do.
Yeah, I've seen those at Target. They're kind of expensive though.
They are, but I'm lucky to find some at thrift stores. When you can. Mine
Right,
cost
right.
a
I do
lot,
that too.
but
Sometimes I find them like they also make plastic mason jars. Like it
mhm,
looks just like the mason jar, but it's plastic.
yep.
And I have found those at the thrift too. But when I went to look them up online, they're really expensive to order, like on Amazon or something. But they
Yeah.
do make plastic mason jars, like more for food storage and stuff
Mhm.
like that, like to store rice or whatever in.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's a good idea because now we're recording this kind of towards the end of January, but there's going to be a bunch of Valentine's Day stuff out
Oh,
there,
yeah.
like at Dollar Tree. So you probably can buy some Valentine's Day containers and do like a fun Valentine's Day jewelry jar or something like that. I think that would be really cute.
Oh, yeah. Theme jewelry jars seem to go pretty well. So,
Yeah, yeah. And people really get into it. They
yeah.
like
Oh,
I've
yeah.
had people say, one of my buyers, she likes to buy my jewelry bags because she said her and her granddaughter like to
Mhm.
open it together and go through all the stuff and she's young. I think her granddaughter is probably around 7 or 8 or something like that. But she
Mhm.
says it's great because, she got the jewelry in a bag. She doesn't worry if a piece breaks or if
Mhm.
it she loses it or something like that, and she said
That's
that her granddaughter likes it.
Yeah, that's one of the situations over here with me and one of my antique booths. I have a lady who comes by and buys like 10 or 15 bags at a time,
Hmm.
and she'll take them over to the like nursing care facility where she works, or retirement home, something like
Oh,
that. And then one day, it's like 1 or 2 days a week, they'll have the residents come out into the main room, and they'll just dig through these bags and find cool pieces. And I just think it's so fun and so
That's
cool.
really sweet.
Yeah, it's such a unique idea.
Yeah, and it brings them joy because
Hmm.
everybody likes kind of the thrill of a surprise. They might
Exactly.
find something they really like in there. And then, plus just the act of digging I think is fun
Yeah.
too because I like that too. Like I like to just dig and see,
Oh
see
yeah.
what I what I can
Yeah.
find.
And like I said, it's fun to get my boxes, and when I start digging through them and finding pepper spray and handcuffs, and you're just like, oh, it's just like, what is this doing here? But no, I can say this though. Speaking of finding stuff, uh, let's see. This was two of them actually. One of them a person didn't want, but the other person accepted. I found in the past 6 months two class rings in my boxes. And
Really?
what I like to do before I sell class rings is I like to look up the people and try to find, where who and where it belongs.
Mhm.
So this first ring I found, this was probably back in March of last year. Um, there was a ring. It was from a high school in Ohio, and the person, I searched him up. It took me a long time. I went to like the town's historical society Facebook page. I sent them a message. They posted it on their Facebook page. No hits on that. So then I went and looked up the names on Facebook. Went through like 20 profiles until I found the exact one. And then the person's profile was inactive. So then I went onto a bunch of different Facebook groups of lost rings in Ohio, stuff like that.
Mhm.
And one person said, "Oh, I'm missing a class ring from such and such place." And when I read the post, it was the same exact year, it was the same exact school, it was the same exact ring, basically. It's just a different name. So it was a classmate of this guy's.
Right.
I messaged the classmate and I said, "Hey, I know this isn't your ring, but this is a classmate of yours. Do you happen to have the info and who I could, call about this?" So then the guy responds to me, he says, "Oh my gosh, that's such and such. Here's the email of the what did he say? The yearbook committee." So I
Oh.
emailed the lady from the yearbook committee to find this is like a whole long it's a whole long story. So I emailed the lady
But I'm
that
impressed with your dedication though to
exactly.
to find this person.
Well, if you ever you find your class ring, or if you ever lost your class rings, I will find you. So I emailed the yearbook committee lady, and she gave me the information about this guy. Sadly, the guy passed away, um,
Oh.
but she gave me the contact info of his sister. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was his sister. So I
Mhm.
emailed the sister, and sent her pictures of the ring, and she was just joyed about finding, that I found the ring. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, you found my brother's ring. We've been looking
Aw, that's
for a
nice.
long time." And so then I shipped it out to her with a little "you're welcome" card, for finding it or whatever. And so I sent that back to her, and all is well. Um, the
Aw, that's so sweet.
the other class ring I found, this is probably 2 months ago, and I was digging through the boxes. I found another class ring, and this one was for someone who was in high school band. And this didn't take me long to search at all. I looked up the town, I looked up the person, I found the person, I messaged the person, and I sent them photos of their ring. And this is probably the saddest but funniest answer I'm ever going to get. The guy responds back saying, "Yeah, that's my class ring." And I was like, "Great. Do you want it back? It's your class ring. I always ask before I decide to sell them." The guy goes, "No, I don't want it back. I hated my high school years. You can have it." And I'm like, "All right." So I have his class ring. So if he ever wants it back, which I don't think he will, but if he ever wants it back, I'm just going to keep it until he says
You're not
otherwise.
gonna sell it? Why don't you sell it? He said he didn't want it.
He said he didn't want it, but I was in band in high school, so I just feel like I need to keep the ring. So It's not gold or
Yeah.
silver thing, but I just feel like personalized stuff, it's hard to sell, I I can't even sell any like inscripted stuff. Like if I have a bracelet named Debbie, well, I have to go out and find a person named Debbie to buy the bracelet, you know? So
Yeah, same with initial stuff. Like,
yeah,
you
with
get
initial stuff, I basically just put it in grab bags unless if I can find the right person with those initials.
yeah,
So,
because that's what I've noticed too. Like I had some brooches, I had a bunch of brooches that I
mhm,
had got in a bulk buy, and they were all letters H, S,
mm,
R, whatever.
yep,
And I tried to sell them like individually, but I
mm,
mean, unless, like you said, unless your name starts with H or whatever it is. And then not only that, but not everybody really like wants their initials, like I don't really buy D stuff. Like I
mhm.
just maybe I would if I saw something really extraordinary, but in general, I don't.
Diamond ring or something with a D.
Yeah, like maybe something like that,
Yeah,
but in general, I don't really buy that kind of stuff. So yeah, that is kind of hard to sell,
yeah.
unless somebody is actually looking for that.
Yeah. So if you ever lose any class rings, I'm the guy that'll sit you down. It
Yeah,
actually
well, I
goes.
never got a class ring when I was in high school, so
Neither did I. It was actually pretty well because I'm a multimedia journalism student. That's what I'm going for as my major.
yay.
So I like finding the facts, tracking things down, stuff like that, fact checking, all that.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's my background too. My background is in
oh yeah, yep,
my
you
degree
did
is in
great for a
communications,
while.
yeah, and journalism and stuff. And so I'm the same way. Like I love the research. I love to um, find the information. Like
Oh, yeah.
that's fun for me. I know
You
it
know,
sounds weird, but I like it.
if I had more class rings, I would probably do a TikTok series on it of like finding the class ring and just doing like this whole series of who it belongs to and stuff like that.
Yeah, that could be a whole like
That
show
could be,
or something.
yeah, a whole podcast in itself.
Yeah, that could be like a whole reality show.
Yeah, it
And
could.
and not even make it like just rings. It could just be like any type of
Any
jewelry.
personalized. Yeah.
Yeah, or any item. Yeah, it could be like a what are those jackets? You know the jackets that they wear in high
Oh,
school?
the letter jackets.
Yeah, yeah. Cuz I see people find those in the thrift store, like the clothing sellers and stuff. Sometimes they
Oh
find stuff like that with the monogram on it and stuff,
yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, that would be a whole like I think that would be a really cool concept for a reality show, like
Yeah.
finding the owners of these lost items or
Call
whatever.
it call it diamond in the rough or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? Sometimes I come across things like that where they ask for show pitches, and next
Mm,
time I see one, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pitch the idea.
there you go. I'll co-produce.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you got some great stories already, so I think you would be really good to be in that show.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I have tons of jewelry stories.
All right. Was there anything else you want to talk about and share that we haven't already discussed? I know
Um,
you have such an exciting jewelry life.
I know it's crazy. I got an exciting jewelry life and nobody to share it with.
Yeah,
But
you know what's funny is what's not funny, but I got some. Have you ever seen the flower brooches that are like they're all one color?
oh yeah, yeah,
Well, I know you probably have seen everyone, but
yes, everyone.
I found these and I probably should get them so I could show you because I thought about you. I said, you know what? I bet you Brandon would like this. It's an all white enamel flower, but it has like a stem and stuff on it.
Nope, yep. Hmm.
Like,
Probably have a couple.
yeah, I have a couple of them too, and I'm just like, I've never seen one like this. Like, I just found it at the thrift store, and it was
Mm,
like $4.
$4. Come
Yeah,
on,
yeah, that's why I bought it.
you're getting
So,
enamel flowers at $4.
well, I mean, I it must have been my lucky day.
I guess so. I guess so.
But I mean, how is your enamel flower collection going? I know you have like thousands of them.
Yeah, it's going pretty well. I'm still adding as long as I'm finding them. I'm not like searching out for them like in right away, but if I can find them in bulk boxes and stuff like that, it's nice to have. I'm kind of watching which ones I buy. I'm looking for the more abstract ones right now because I have a lot of the plain ones, in all different colors. But no, it's been fun. I'm probably amassing like 1,200 right now. So
Yeah. Did you put them in that display case like we talked about last time?
yep, I've got them all over in my watch display case.
All right. Well, you got to show us. I want to see.
Oh, I will. I will show you. There's also videos on my TikTok page as well of the.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Show them on TikTok or on your Instagram, and then people can look. Because
Yep.
the last time Brandon was here, he kind of gave us a little tour
Mm,
of his flower brooch collection, and he had
it's a
like
lot.
I think you were just setting them up in the watch display thing, like they weren't all in there yet.
Yep. All the ones that I have in the watch display right now, those are all fluorescent enameling. So when I turn the lights off and put the black light on, all of them glow.
Oh wow, I bet that is so cool.
It is a really cool really cool
See,
display.
I would just make a museum just with that.
Oh yeah, I plan to. I hope to do that. I guess
Yeah.
the thing I could mention about my business is, um, starting this past January, on January 1st, my business is now an LLC. So
Yay!
about
Congratulations.
that, it'll be a lot of fun to start the business adventures and do all that fun stuff.
All right. Well, you know what you can do now is now you can register for a lot of the jewelry shows, right? Because a lot
Mhm.
of the jewelry shows are not open to the public, but they are
Right,
open to
the businesses,
businesses.
LLCs, yeah,
So, yeah. So pay attention if there's any jewelry shows in your area because now you can totally register and
and
in a
do.
lot of cases you can go for free
The
too.
the thing is with the jewelry shows, it's a lot of, like, high-end stuff, like, most of the time, it's gonna be a lot of, like, gold, silver, Native American pieces, and the stuff I mainly sell is, like, a lot of mid-century modern, funky 50s, 60s, costume pieces.
No, that
So
they have that there too. They
do they?
do. Yeah,
Oh,
and some of
I'll have
these
to go.
people
I've never been to a jewelry show, so I'm gonna have to check it out
yeah,
sometime.
you gotta go because not only that, but there are people who specialize in that.
Mm,
But remember, they get bulk estates of
yeah,
jewelry, like, they get estate jewelry, and they may only want the high-end stuff, but they still have to offload the cheaper stuff.
offload the cheaper stuff, yeah.
And so if they
Yep.
know you, they can offload it to you,
Oh,
you know? Not only that, but it's so educational, like, because all
mhm,
the jewelry shows I've been to, I've never bought anything, like, I haven't, but I have learned so much about jewelry just going to those shows.
yeah. Yep. Oh, I
So
hope to get to one show someday, but gotta finish out college first, so
yeah, yeah, but I'm just saying, now it's something where you have even more
I can
opportunities.
I can do it over the summer, so that'll be good.
Yeah, and you have even more opportunities,
Mm,
to source or to meet people or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, that too.
So
So,
well, all right, Brandon, this has been a lively discussion as
yeah,
always with you.
I like being on here.
I know we'll have you back again. You know what? We're going to have you back when you're done with school.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
we're going to talk about how life is now that you are a college graduate
There you
selling
go. That would
jewelry.
be another episode.
Yeah, yeah, because, by
I'll
then,
I'll make you a promise. How about this? On that episode, I'll come in cap and gown.
aw,
We'll
yeah,
do
so we can congratulate you.
There you go.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much, Brandon. I appreciate you taking the time and I appreciate you hanging out. And
Alright.
I will have all of Brandon's information in the description, in the show notes, so you can follow him on Instagram, TikTok, and check out his website.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Brandon, I'll talk to you soon.
Alright, sounds good.